she is a talent that everyone should watch. I mean, I always equate her to a young Jodie Foster. You know, she's a fantastic actress, but also she's a really great little girl. You know, she's fun. She's so well brought up. She's a great conversationalist. And when Jill was casting, she said, "I found this girl, an Irish girl, and we're play Scots, you know." And I said, "Will she be able to do the accent?" Boy, why did I even ask? I mean, she came straight into rehearsals, right off another movie, threw herself into it, gave us cuddles every day, and really just incorporated Benji in a wonderful kind of ragamuffin tomboy way, and with a tenderness to her which is just beautiful on screen. I mean, she really is, she's a star.
Saoirse auditioned for me when I went to England to start the early preparation of the film and look for locations, and I said, well, because it's such a huge role, I think it would be very, very hard for someone who'd never been on a film set before to take on. So I should see the most experienced of the sort of age group from, say, 10 to 12. And I saw lots of talented, experienced young actresses. But Saoirse she stood out like a mile above anyone else. I mean, she was just absolutely breathtaking, her first audition. I just thought, well, there's no one else who can play Benji.
When you cast a film like this, where you have different actors playing different ages of the same character, you start with the adult one. But what we did is we started with the child one. So Saoirse just sent a video of herself performing a few of the scenes that she'd done with her dad in their front room, and it was stunning. And here was this, you know, freakishly talented little Irish kid who could somehow transform herself by sheer power of her own imagination.
Saoirse Ronan, who's playing 13-year-old Bryony. I can't say enough fantastic things about her. She's just extraordinary. It was really important they got the right actress for Bryony. And Saoirse Ronan, who was, I think, 11 when she did it, was completely extraordinary. You know, she's Irish, and she's got just the most amazing ear. She just picks up accents like anything. So suddenly you'd have this terribly upper crust English accent coming out of this 11-year-old, and she was just completely extraordinary.
I had to come on board and take over somebody else's performance essentially, because Saoirse, who's playing Bryony at 13, had already established 5 weeks of really very, very impressive work. So it was difficult to come on and sort of pick up where she left off.
All the performances were strong. Everybody was good, but do you know who stole the film?
Saoirse Ronan. Vanessa Redgrave.
Saoirse Ronan.
Yeah.
Oh my God! If
She's fantastic.
If she doesn't get nominated, there's something wrong.
Man, in a weird way, I hope as a 12-year-old girl she gets left alone. But yeah, I think she deserves it. Totally deserves it.
She was.
And Saoirse and Harry are there just killing it. You know, they're just doing great, and they're sort of, you know, she's just this little angel, sort of lit from within, and she's carrying the movie. She's the messenger of the movie, right? As her character is, running through the streets, and just to be in a scene with her and see her take off with that kind of, you know, like a coyote, you know, like running, just exploding away with energy to get on a mission, you know. It was great to see that and realize, oh, she's going to take care of that kind of busy work, and I'll just be here sitting in this big chair.
In your leading role, you have the wonderful Saoirse Ronan, who plays the not quite yet heavenly creature, Susie Salmon, and that notion that I know when you originally cast the film, you thought, well, you wanted an unknown in that particular role, and then she very unprofessionally got nominated for an Oscar during the shoot, which kind of changed the profile of your leading lady. But yes, she is a tremendous young actress, and everything she's done so far, anyway, seems to just point to a very long and wonderful career.
Absolutely. I mean, Saoirse's the real deal. She's not a, you know, she's not one of these sort of gimmicky child actors that's sort of cute as a kid, and she's not going to disappear. She's going to have a long career, and deservedly so. I mean, she'll be the Vanessa Redgrave of the next, 50, 60 years. As an old lady, she'll be there doing great stuff, I'm sure, in a long time. But, I mean, she has a natural talent. She's an old soul, Saoirse, and I do believe in those things. You talk to her, she feels like a wise old soul. She's been around the block a few times, I'm sure. And she's very sensible too. She knows what she's doing. She's courageous. That's the other great quality with her, is she's brave as anything. Anything I asked her to do, she'll throw herself into it, and you know, if it's emotional or distressing, or she's got to yell, she's not self-conscious, she'll just do it. She'll do it for me, which was terrific, and then, you know, at the end of it, she'll giggle and laugh and crack a joke too, which is great.
I know that...
working with Saoirse Ronan, whoa, this girl. I mean, she had a lot on her plate, let's face it. You know? You all did. It's a heavy-duty topic, but what impressed you about working with her?
Well, she was 12 when she was cast and 13 when we shot, and I was 19 playing her younger sister.
Right.
So before I'd met her, it was kind of an intimidating prospect. But once I met Saoirse, and I mean, she is just wise beyond her years and so able. So I felt really confident and comfortable that we could make it all work, you know?
Yeah. Saoirse Ronan, I mean, what can I say about this girl? She is spectacular.
Yeah.
What was it like to work with her, and what really impressed you about her?
Oh, I think when we were filming, she was 12 or 13, and she's a real actress. She's just the real deal. She's right there. She's raw. She's truthful. We'll be, you know, seeing from her for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
Saoirse is one of those rare forces of nature. People are going to be blown away.
She's got that mischievous, indomitable spirit, and at the same time a kind of openness and clarity that are hard to find.
What was it like to work with an actress who, obviously she has talent and skill, but like there's like an innate something about her that...
She's fierce. She's really got a great presence, and she works really hard, and she's very funny, actually. She and Rose were a riot during the rehearsals. I don't film with her that much. We worked more in the rehearsal process, but I don't really have scenes with her. Most of my scenes were with Rachel and the little boy, and with Mark. But you know, clearly she's going to, especially since her parents are so solid and sweet and smart, I think she will work for a very long time if she chooses to.
I think casting Saoirse, who has this, you know, sort of this fantastic face that you can't take your eyes off of, and she has such a wonderful, at once, lightness and depth about her that she's so perfect for it, that you want to be and will be carried through this film by her. It's not an easy task, but particularly for a kid. But she has it all. There's something slightly magical about her.
Like Saoirse brought in a bit of a, you know, the more of a youthful sort of spirit, which was well welcomed with us as a group of sort of men. So until that time, it was all quite intense and quite full on. And then, you know, Saoirse sort of arrived, and she was a breath of fresh air for all of us, you know, and we started, you know, messing around a bit more and played some games and kept ourselves entertained, made up stupid songs.
With all the success that she's had, she's so lovely with it, or she's not with it at all. She's just really cool, and she's obviously a bit of a brilliant actor. Won't get into that. You might see me turn green.
She's a young girl, but she can step across out in front of the camera and become this very different human being. Young Polish girl who's lived in the streets, who came from a good home but was put in an orphanage, her parents arrested, and somehow she has that ability to just walk across the line and change. She's quite a remarkable talent.
I'm here to support Saoirse. We just worked together on a film called Violet and Daisy. It comes out this summer, and she is one of the greatest actresses in the world and a remarkable human being. So I'm thrilled that she's in town. I live here, and so I'm looking forward to seeing her again and her family. And she's so wonderful, and as great as everyone thinks she is, she's just as great to work with. So I'm thrilled for her and looking forward to seeing anything she's in.
She's a great girl. She's a really hard worker. You know, and this was a really grueling, I've seen some grueling schedules on a film before, but this was really something else for her. And she was tough as nails. She really is.
I think Saoirse's remarkable. I mean, I couldn't have conceived of doing what she does at 15 going on 16, which is what she was when we shot the film. I mean, she's utterly unaffected, lives in rural Ireland, and but yet she's able to access this incredibly dark stuff and have an amazing disciplined work ethic. I mean, if you could clone her, I think the studios would be very happy.
Saoirse Ronan, who from the first moment I met her in London, I just knew
it was going to be easy. I mean, some people are just easy to work with, and you watch her and you look at her face and you think, what's she doing that's so special? And you can't define it, but there's something about her. It's just all there, everything. It's always spot on, perfectly informed. So working with Saoirse is a joy.
I really look forward to film that I get the honor and the luck to work with someone who's as great as Saoirse. She makes my job so much more easier.
Saoirse is lovely. She's, it's hard to believe she's 18 because she's very mature. I feel like she's been in this business longer than I have. She sort of grew up in front of the cameras. She's from a family of actors, so she's sort of an old pro, really, at all of this, and yet she's this lovely young girl who has a lot of pleasure, I think, being in front of the camera.
Originally, these characters are a little bit older, and so I was picturing people more in their, late 20s and early 30s, and then Saoirse Ronan was interested in doing it, and you don't say no to that. She was so great in Hannah. That was the movie that we're kind of like, this girl can do this. And so we went with Saoirse and kind of built around her, and she's amazing. We were worried, the main worry when we were putting this movie together was, how are you going to find an actress who can pull this off? Mm-hmm. It's a lot of work. You have to play two characters in one body. Who's going to make this work for us? And she was just perfect. And once we had her, it was like, okay, this is all going to fall together.
When Saoirse came on, when I turned on the camera, it was like that character was fully formed right inside her. It was like she'd kind of drunk it and it entered your bloodstream or something. It was very strange. She had this eerie stillness, and as a director, I just had to stay out of the way, really. Really. It's as simple as that. If you've cast it right, If you've cast a film wrong as a director, you've got a lot of work to do.
I don't think anybody's cast Saoirse wrong yet.
Saoirse wrong, they haven't.
It's hard to miss her. It's just hard for her to miss so far.
The one that stuck in my head is Saoirse Ronan in Atonement. And I'd never seen her in anything, and she was like 12 years old or something. But I just remember the first 40 minutes of the film were for me, the most interesting part of the whole film, and her especially. Her eyes were just so blue, and they flickered to the camera just for a second, and it's the only point in the film where anyone, apart from Vanessa Redgrave at the end, who's delivering sort of a monologue, makes any eye contact with the camera. And I don't know if it was intended or not, but it sort of suddenly she was looking straight at you. It was amazing.